So, did you get a chance to talk to Kyle Larson while you're in
I
Florida?
I did not.
I would love to see. I don't know what the NASCAR schedule is, but man, I'd love to see him as well as you would too. Him pull through the gates in April. That would be wild.
Yeah, and
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 or
he's liable to show up anywhere.
right,
Yeah.
or the Iron Man. He usually doesn't announce where he's going much, so you know,
Right.
you might be just as surprised as the fans. But
He
And,
usually
and
shows up.
that's not a bad thing. It kind of gets people. Hey, well, you think he'll be there? We better go and see if he's there.
right,
That's better than them saying they're coming and they're not. Because I've had not him, but I've had people. Hey, we're going to be there. We're going to be there, and then, hey, where you at? Oh well, we got
yeah.
this going on. So
So then the next week, nothing like throwing you to the fish right away. We got the World of Outlaws sprint cars and BMods on Friday night and A-mods on Saturday night.
if the weather cooperates with me, I'm not worried at all. I got Ray and Sue to help me with concessions and tell me what I need to do there and get things ready. I mean, we got their record, so that's not the end of the world. I mean, we've done this. It's just a little different scale.
Right?
And as long as the biggest thing with the track's the weather right now, and I really want to get it the way that I want it. I'll use that word so I don't offend nobody, but I want to get the track the way that I want it. And then if we can get that done, I'm not worried about this. We got it.
So one question, Peevely has a huge grandstand, and do you know off the top of your head, like what is a numbers wise a crowd for an outlaw show? Do you have any idea?
Well, they have sold it out several times, and there's seating for 7,000.
Wow. So how does that compare to Brownstown?
We've got seating for a couple thousand.
That's what I
So
thought.
it's a lot smaller
Yeah.
scale. Now the other way to look at that is we got 4 concession stands at Peevely, and we've got 1 at Brownstown. So if you figure you got 4 times the people, you just got to do the same thing you're doing there. You just do it 4 times.
I've been to Brownstown, but it was a MOA show back when MOA first started, so
Okay.
we're looking at 20 years ago, and I don't remember a lot about the track, so I couldn't remember what the seating was like. But that is one thing I'm glad that Ray and Sue are going to be there to help with concessions, because that alone, where you go for, let's say, an average night of 1,500 fans to 6 to 7,000, like, whew,
Right.
it could be easy to run out of stuff, but at
Yes.
the same time, you don't want to order too much.
That's right. And well, it doesn't really matter at the beginning of the year. I mean, most of it comes in froze. So, if you get 20 extra cases of hamburger, we'll use them the next week.
Yeah, that's true. I know I'm looking forward to that outlaw show, man. There ain't much better on dirt than sprint cars at Peevely.
That's what I hear that from everybody, and that makes me happy. I mean, it really does. I'm just glad that the guys worked with me and we got this deal done. Really, I mean, it's exciting for me, and I can remember me and my dad after Godfrey closed talked about buying Montgomery Speedway, and we talked about building a racetrack, and we always talked about buying a racetrack. And Dad's gone now. He's been gone since 13, but I often think, man, he'd be just thinking this is awesome.
Yeah, I bet. That's cool that you guys, had that together and you've kept it going, and you're not slowing down. You're just getting bigger. So that's awesome to see.
Kenny Schrader told me one time. I like to tell this. A guy called him and he said, "Hey, Kenny," he said, "I'm moving up in classes." He said, "I'm going from sportsman to BMods." He said, "No, son, you're committing to spend more money. You're not moving up."
Isn't that the truth?
It is. I mean, if you really think about it, and me and Kenny, we send each other texts and mess with each other all the time, and always got something going on. And I tell you what, that guy can always come up with something. I mean, just when you think you got him, he's got some other bullshit that he come up with that just blew yours out of the water. And we have a lot of fun together.
Because I mean, I scroll through Facebook and I bet you at least once or twice a day you got the video of Kyle Larson setting fast time at Peevely on there every single day. It's on there. And I'm like, man, that's
Right.
us. That's Peevely, man. That's
Yeah.
that's our place. You know, that's
Yeah.
one of our home local places. And to see half the outlaw guys be like, oh man, we're going to, we're going to Eldora and then we're going to Knoxville. But man, in 3 weeks after that, we're headed to Peevely. And I mean, for them to say stuff like that's just got to be crazy that you're like, yeah, I own that thing now.
It is something that's going to be well. I put my whole life invested in it, so it's it's going to be maybe a little bit of a challenge, but I think that we'll get through it. And I've talked to some sprint car guys down here, and they're like, oh man, that's our favorite track, and that does just almost give you chills, I mean,
Right.
when you're standing there talking to Kyle Larson or somebody, and they just tell you something like that. I had a well-known modified driver come up to me, and he said, "Hey, I've been following you on Facebook." I didn't even know he knew who I was, and he waved, and I looked behind me to see who he was waving at, because I didn't think he was waving at me, but there wasn't anybody behind me. So I said something to him, and he said, "Man, I've been following you on Facebook, and your track out at Brownstown is just amazing." He said, "I ain't been there, but he said, I've been watching your track surface and seeing what you're doing there." And he said, "Just wanted to let you know you're doing a great job." And it was that was pretty cool. And that was David Strimmy come up to me and said that. So,
Oh man.
I thought, hell, he don't know who Josh Carroll is. I thought he had to be waving at somebody else.